Welcome to Tech Vibe, where we cut through the noise and bring you what's real. Today we're diving into everything we know so far about the upcoming MacBook Pro M5, when it might arrive, what upgrades it could bring, and whether it's worth waiting for. Imagine opening your laptop and seeing a screen so crisp it feels like paper, performance that breezes through rendering, and battery life that actually holds up all day, all while the machine stays cooler and quieter. That's the dream many hope the MacBook Pro M5 will deliver. Stick around, because the rumored improvements could make this next-gen Pro a serious leap forward. As of now, Apple hasn't confirmed a date. Apple's pattern has often had MacBook Pro updates in the fall, but insider whispers and analyst reports increasingly suggest that the M5 MacBook Pro may not debut until early 2026. Some sources are projecting a launch in January 2026, breaking from the usual fall reveal cycle. Others still cling to an October-November 2025 window, but the weight of the chatter leans toward a delayed rollout. The shift may stem from supply constraints, chip maturation, or strategic timing for Apple's broader ecosystem. While waiting for the official announcement, we've collected the most credible rumors and whispers. First, let's talk chip architecture. The M5 family is expected to be built on a refined 3nm process, N3P, similar to what Apple tends to do when iterating on a node. The result? Modest but meaningful gains in both performance and energy efficiency over the M4 generation. Some estimates point to around 10 to 20% uplift in CPU performance, especially in multi-core workloads, with maybe slightly better gains in GPU tasks depending on configuration. One of the most talked about possibilities is a move to OLED panels in the MacBook Pro line. While Apple has used Mini LED so far, rumors suggest that a transition to OLED is in the pipeline, possibly not with the first M5 models, but soon after. OLED would bring deeper blacks, better contrast, and possibly improved power efficiency when displaying darker content. There's also speculation about touch capability on the display, using an on-cell touch layer that integrates input sensors within the screen itself. If true, that would mark a major shift for Apple, which has long resisted putting touchscreens on Macs. Design changes are expected to be subtle rather than revolutionary. Leaks suggest Apple may slim the chassis further, refine edge profiles, and perhaps reduce the thickness slightly. The notch, a point of contention for many users, may evolve. Rumors hint at a hole-punch camera replacing the notch in future models. That move would open up more usable screen space and present a cleaner aesthetic. Connectivity and I/O could see upgrades. The higher-end models may continue offering Thunderbolt/USB-C ports, but perhaps with upgraded throughput or better thermal headroom to sustain high-bandwidth workloads. Speculation also includes the introduction of Wi-Fi 7 for faster wireless networking and lower latency. Some even imagine a MacBook Pro with integrated cellular connectivity, 5G or beyond, though that seems more speculative and likely not part of the first wave. Memory, storage, and thermals are areas Apple will almost certainly target. Rumors suggest Apple may push LPDDR memory bandwidth further, allowing for smoother handling of high-res video, large datasets, and complex simulations. Internal storage could see performance bumps or higher base capacities. Cooling systems might be fine-tuned so the M5 MacBook Pro runs cooler under sustained load, perhaps with better heat dissipation materials or revised fan curves. Battery life is always a battleground. The combination of a more efficient chip and better display tech, especially if OLED enters the mix, could yield gains in real-world battery longevity. Users hope to see at least the same, or ideally better, all-day use even under heavy workloads. Now, a mid-video hook. If these rumors about OLED and touchscreens come true, we're looking at a MacBook that blurs boundaries between laptop and tablet, something many thought Apple would never dare. But the truth will hinge on how far Apple is willing to push this generation. Let's talk configurations. Apple is expected to continue offering both 14-inch and 16-inch models, likely with standard, base, M5, plus higher-tier M5 Pro and M5 Max versions for professionals. The chip scaling would likely mirror what Apple is doing now: more CPU cores, more GPU cores, more memory bandwidth, and perhaps higher unified memory limits in the Pro/Max variants. Pricing is a guessing game, but analysts believe Apple will aim to keep it within the tiering established by the current MacBook Pro lineup. The base 14-inch might start near where the lower end of today's models is priced, adjusted for new components, while the top 16-inch Pro/Max versions will command premium pricing. Apple tends to be cautious about big jumps in price unless the hardware justifies it. Of course, there are unresolved challenges and unknowns. Not all rumors will come to fruition, and some may be overblown. Balancing power, thermals, weight, and battery is a delicate act. Integrating OLED or touch could introduce yield issues or cost pressures. And let's not forget that the transition is not just about hardware. The software side needs to adapt, too. macOS must support new display tech, possibly touch paradigms, and new power management strategies. Another wildcard is timing. If Apple delays further, we could see some of these features pushed into an M6 generation instead. Some observers believe that the major redesign, the real visual overhaul, might come with M6, while M5 serves as a refined iteration. In that case, waiting might be tempting but risky, because Apple might skip some features in the first M5 models to reserve them for the next generation. At the end of the day, if Apple delivers a refined 3nm M5 chip, modest but real performance gains, improved thermals, better displays, maybe OLED, and potentially touch capability, the MacBook Pro M5 could be a compelling upgrade, especially for creators, developers, and professionals pushing modern workflows. We may be several months away from seeing the real thing, but the foundations are being set. If you're eyeing a MacBook Pro purchase now, it's worth weighing whether to wait for what could be a meaningful leap. Keep your eyes peeled for Apple's 2026 lineup announcements. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. You don't want to miss the moment Apple finally reveals the MacBook Pro M5. This is Tech Vibe, keeping you plugged into the future with zero fluff.